Alright chaps, don't really feel like playing right now. Waiting for my wife to get home from work, birds are put away, it's dark outside, it's cold, it's boring. I don't really fancy playing another rapid game right now, so thought I'd just make you a video. I've had some games submitted to me, which is always good fun, by my chess.com buddies, and I've got 4 here, in all of which black wins. So, and we go up the ratings. We're starting at around 1,000 and we're going up to 1,700. So we'll see how far we get. Let's just do this for fun. Okay, so the first one is Andy Deco's, rated 1002, 10-minute rapid. And the old Benoni, you see, the new Benoni, I think you bring your knight out first, and then if you have c4 and d4, then you push c5. But this is the old Benoni. Yes. Okay. c3 defends, takes. All right. So we've got d4 with no c pawns. Fair enough. d5 is played, all symmetrical, going slightly London, and symmetrical again. Okay. Obviously, both queens have the option of checking on these squares as well. And we have e3. So it's like White is going to carry on with his London idea. Nevertheless, knight f6, knight f3, e6, and in comes the knight. No great surprises there. I would imagine this knight's going to come out here. Then if knight takes, you can recapture towards the centre. No bad thing. But no, we throw in the queen check. Okay. Now I'm not sure about the benefit of this one because it invites the knight to develop and block. Knight develops, but to d2, not to c3. Okay. And now black's knight flies in again to the e4 square. But this time it's coming with more of a threat because we've got 2 attackers on this knight now. And this knight is, of course, Pinhead. Okay. a3 is probably telegraphing that b4 is going to come soon. And now f6 to kick the knight away. Okay, the knight has a couple of squares. We counterattack the queen. Nice to see a bit of counterattacking. Like a bit of counterattacking. Queen retreats all the way to d8. And now a check. Woo! Oh, now this is potentially quite spicy now. So if we block with the knight, we've got knight takes hitting the queen, right? We've got 2 attackers on this square. If the knight blocks. So what we're going to do, we're going to move the king. No, knight blocks. Knight takes. Okay, the queen is now under attack. What do we do? Knight c3, counter-attacking the queen, but no, this isn't right. Because surely but no, this doesn't work for me because if knight takes queen, it comes with a discovered check. Right, so knight takes queen, black gets out of check. Oh, look, that's clever. Knight takes, but then we're down a queen. Knight takes queen, king takes, we're down a queen, mate. Not good, precious. Okay. Well, how on earth are you going to do this? Okay, take the bishop, right? So now black is down, Andy is down 6 points, basically a queen for a bishop. Not good. White castles, develop the bishop, prepare to castle, rook. Oh, we can't castle because we've moved the king. How on earth are you going to recover from this, my friend? Here, offering up material. If I was white, I'd probably just grab it, yeah, exchange. Now, in black's favour, he does have the bishop pair. But he's down a heap of material. What on earth is going to happen here? King f7, okay, pawn pushes. Rook f8, righto. Pawn pushes again, we're squeezing in on this bishop now. Bishop retreats, pawn pushes again. Escape square for the bishop. Pawn pushes again. Now this could be hairy, you know. If we take here, rook here. We've got bishop and a rook looking at that h2 square. Takes, pushes. Okay. All right. Now, if I was white, I'd seriously be looking at that move, I think. Maybe back it up with the knight. White should really not lose this game any day of the week. Okay. Slightly attacking the knight. Knight comes in with check. Takes. Okay. King g6. Right, yeah, pawn protects the pawn. Rook to here. Okay, so now if the bishop moves, we're going to have trouble defending this. It's going to have to be the queen to there. That's the only way, I think. Okay, pawn pushes again. That's actually a free pawn. Bishop attacks. Rook takes. Pawn takes. Rook moves. Back here attacking the queen. Yep. Sacks the exchange. But we're up a queen for a rook. Okay, queen takes pawn. Right, we attack the queen. Because that isn't playable because the queen's defending it. Queen moves out the way with check. King to here. Check again. There. Here. Ah! Boom. Bada boom. Don't know if I've shared this one before. I think I've seen it before. Terrible taking your eye off the ball. Anyway, so if you've seen that one before, I apologise, but God, it feels fresh. But what a sucker punch. That's a beauty, yeah? Because classic checkmate pattern, king's in opposition, back rank, good night. All right, let's have a look at the next one. This is from Kjeld Mikkelsen from Denmark against Firehawk. 12164 from the USA. Kjeld is 1334, Firehawk 1249. And we've got a few moves on this one. Let's just go for it. Okay, the English. Yeah. Knight f6. Okay, this is the hedgehog system apparently. So Anglo-Indian. So we've got like a King's Indian maybe happening on black side against the English. So this is now kind of transposed into a Queen's pawn opening. Okay, and now Benoni style on this. All right, we've just seen that. Okay, and we capture the pawn towards the centre, no bad thing. And out comes the queen. Okay, now here it looks as though white's got a massive advantage in development. It's got 3 pieces out. Right, could technically even castle if you wanted to. Whereas black only has 1 piece out and it's pinned. Knight attacks the queen. Right, now we have 2 pieces out and the queen undevelops herself all the way back to d1. Break the pin. f4 looks a little rash. To me, you got to think about king safety, eh? Now, comes across pinning the knight, also potentially looking at that bishop, but it is defended by a pawn. Okay, again, I'm expecting b4. Ha! Looks like it's covered by the knight, but the knight is, of course, iced. Cannot take. Right, and we're threatening. Knight takes, if pawn takes, queen takes, check. Queen must block. Ooh, no, king's got there as well. But it's all unpleasant, okay. We have a bishop trade, and black ignores it and goes in for this, attacking the queen. Takes. Now there's only 2 moves. Now queen here drops the rook. So I think the king's got to go there, eh? He does indeed. Now what's going to happen? Right, we grab the bishop back. Okay, black is up 1 pawn. Pawn pushes, plus black has castling rights and the queens are still on the board. This is important. Okay, the knight now comes in again. We are threatening mate in 1. Nice spot, well done. Knight to here. Surely that's... How is that not checkmate? Ah, king e1 escapes. All right. Now what do we do? I mean, that's tempting, but queen can take the knight, queen takes, knight takes. So it's not playable. Okay, we castle. Good, sensible move. That's a little rash again. Knight retreats to h6, now attacking the g4 pawn. Rook comes across, he takes the pawn. Again, threatening a check here. King's going to have to move out there. This is a punishment. Okay, only one move. Yep. Now what? What would I do? What would you do? I don't know. Okay, sensible. Rook d8, line it up with the king and the queen. If you ever see king or queen on a file, good to have a rook there. Hits the knight. It's okay, the queen's not under attack. Ignores it entirely. Says, have the knight, I don't need it. Because this is deadly. Right, we are skewering the king. King will have to move. And then we get the queen. Lovely, lovely play. Oh, grabs the knight. White got greedy. Takes. Now you're in trouble. Because the knight can't block. Right? If the rook blocks, rook takes rook. And you've got the same problem. We lose the queen. Nice stuff. Okay, now. Black is up in material. But white has 2 pawns and an extra knight. Sorry, 2 rooks and an extra knight. So black needs to engage this rook. You can't just checkmate with a queen. Okay, so b5, getting ready to bring the bishop out here. Hit this rook with tempo. Rook moves out the way. Bishop comes out anyway, preparing a check with a rook. Rook comes in with check. Nice. Okay, now we could have a bishop check. We do indeed have a bishop check. Okay, so the king can't go there, there, or there, or there, or there. The rook can't block, so the king's going to have to, and can't go here, so the king's going to have to go to one of these dark squares. And if the king goes on the back rank, we've got queen e1 check as well. So the king comes here. Check with a rook, like it. And we're also now overwhelming this knight, so we could trade a rook for 2 minors. It's got to be winning. Oh, beauty, beauty. Ignore the material. It's checkmate time. Nice one. Okay, this is all good fun. Christina, Tigers Without Stripes, with the black pieces. Now, if you've been watching the World Championship, you might come to the conclusion that it's impossible to win with the black pieces. It's not. Okay, let's see what Christina does. e4, e5. Normal, normal. Reload pairs. We've seen 1 or 2 of these recently. Okay, kick the bishop. Correct move. Bishop retreats. Right, we don't normally kick straight away, but this is a double kick. Oh, it probably is. Bishop retreats. Yeah, I think here is that the Berlin. If the knight comes out there, I don't know. I don't play I don't play reload pairs. Anyway, so bishop comes back now. Again, addressing f7. The knight can't come here now because of the queen. So, bishop c5. This is now in the Italian position. Looking at that. Castles, d6. Okay, so c3 is probably preparing this. Pin the knight. Jolly good stuff. Oh, d3, not d4. d3 is played. h6 now. Okay, so we're preventing the knight from coming in because it could be supported by the bishop there. Makes sense. But, oh yeah, because the d pawn has moved, you have to notice the bishop is now guarding that square. So the knight can't come in, queen can't, can come in, because queen can't take, because this bishop would recapture. So that's why h6, okay. Centralize the rook, all sensible. f5. Now this is what we pay for when we're watching Christina play. Okay, pawn takes. Knight f6. So this is a fascinating move, right? f5, just giving up the pawn, don't recapture. In comes the knight. Pawn advances, right? This pawn is pinned here, cannot capture. Is attacking the pinned pawn and attacking the bishop. Bishop simply steps back. Takes. Now attacking the knight. How are you going to dig yourself out of this one? Oh, okay, yeah. Knight recaptures, good. Okay, and you see now, I love it when these knights start to creep in. towards the enemy king. So now we've actually got a threat here. If the king can get out of line of fire, which he can't castle because of this bishop is now guarding g8, right? Something like this, threatening knight takes check, queen can't recapture, so knight takes, pawn takes, we've opened up the king. Alright, so we have a bishop kick. There's a free pawn on f5, right? No, indeed, we attack the queen. Yeah, definitely a good move. Okay, and the knight can't recapture because the knight is pinned on the king. Knight retreats. This knight here is still pinned, yeah? Bishop attacks. I mean, Christina's actually only down one pawn at this point. Bishop attacks. Queen blocks, and now we're threatening knight takes queen with check, right? So something has to be done about the check, and then the other knight can come here and block the rook, right? Okay, bishop takes, knight takes, attacking the queen again. Queen takes rook. King moves, giving up another rook. What? What is this? What is this going on? Okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to do here? This is desperate stuff. Knight's pinned on the queen. Okay, come on, Christina, show me some magic. Knight f3, check. Nice, nice. Check. And a fork on the rook. And discovered attack on the rook. Pawn takes, queen takes, check. And notice the bishop is looking down on this. Wow. King there, queen takes, check, yeah. King has to go in the corner. Checkmate. My golly gosh. The moves that this girl finds. Kudos to you, mate. Well done. Loved that one. Absolutely love it. Okay. Right, let's do one more. Okay, and this is my friend Wasp79, rated 1702. Against a immediate ingenuity, rated 1686. So two strong players. And we have the French. D4, D5. Which way are we going? French advance. Not the strongest, but playable. And C5. All familiar. And C3. Now, somebody said in the comments before that in the advanced French, C3 is a move. Okay. We have knight C6. We have bishop E3. Right, adding one to third defender to the pawn. And now queen B6. This is all very thematic. Queen's looking at the B2 pawn. Queen D2 defends. Takes, takes. Now what happens? Okay, bishop D7. Makes sense. It's very, very often played in the French. Okay, knight F3. Rook C8. Now I've seen Jonathan Schrantz likes this move. He's got a whole kind of setup to do with it. Alright, now A3 is preventing the knight from coming here and here with a fork on king and rook, I guess. So knight instead goes to A5, where it's now looking at a fork on queen and rook. Something must be done. Queen dodges out the way. Okay, now what? Quiet and subtle A6, but maybe preparing this. But that could have been played immediately. No, it couldn't, because queen takes, bishop takes with check. Okay, so this is better. Okay, so knight now comes in. Knight comes in and hits the rook. Rook moves out the way. Okay. Boom. Bishop gives up its life by taking on A3. And this is black's good bishop, right? This is relatively poor Or it quite often is, but it's got prospects here right now. Now that we've opened up some stuff, but what is the meaning of this? Pawn takes. Knight has pinned itself now. Ah, right. Okay, so here's the tactic. This pawn here has got two jobs. It's the only defender of this pawn, and it's the only defender of Mr. Knight. So taking out this pawn, we grab ourselves a pawn. If pawn takes, which it does, we've won a pawn. Okay. Having said that, we've also pinned our own knight. Knight comes in attacking the pinned knight. Now what are you going to do, Waspy? How are you going to wheedle your way out of this one? I don't know what to believe anymore. Is this playable now? Bishop b5 hit the queen? No. Ah, look, the queen has put herself on the diagonal here. Now, let's say knight takes, rook takes knight. We're attacking this rook and white's in check. That's a lovely move. Not easy to spot. Okay, now the queen decides to come out on a raid to here. Is that the idea? Attacking g7, right? But is it? Do we have time for that? So what would you play here? Stunning. Rook sacrifice. Sacrifice in exchange. Okay, and now, but pawn doesn't take. Ah, because queen takes knight would be mate. Wow. Wow, and that's why 1700. That's why 1700. Now, so that's why the bishop has to move, because queen takes here, the king's got an escape square. Queen takes there, king moves, right? Now, also, the knight is also looking at that square with a potential fork here. So what happens next? Rook takes bishop. Okay, are we going to trade queens? Queen takes. We do not trade queens. And finally, bishop b5. But at the right time. When it's the final, it's a stake through the heart move. What a beauty. And the game is all over in 18 moves. You've got to admire that, guys. So, you know, this is the, you know, if you're an improving player, if you're like 1000 plus, learn, study the tactics in this game, because that's an absolute joy. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, well, thanks to everybody who's shared the games with me. You know, I'm always really happy to just share great chess, because it's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Okay, so there you go. Hope you've enjoyed that, guys. I've enjoyed myself working through these games. Thanks again to everyone for sharing. You guys are an inspiration. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon.